For my persuasion project, I chose to do an animated editorial GIF. It was meant to be used for a digital wellness magazine. The GIF was intended to promote a work-life balance using the phrase, "living is a living thing." This was my first attempt at animation. Using this project as a starting point, I would like to continue to develop my interest in animation throughout the Edge project. Considering my focus on a digital magazine in the last project, I would like to further my knowledge of the editorial illustration industry for the outcomes of the Edge project. My proposed outcomes for the Edge project are to create one animated magazine cover remake, with 3 spot illustrations for the cover article. My interest in this project is to explore the process of remaking an already existing magazine cover as an animated GIF. While the remake of the cover will be an animated GIF, the spot illustrations will be still images that complement the article. I have chosen to make these images non-animated in order to give myself the time to refine and present outcomes at an acceptable quality. In my initial research, I came across an article from The New Yorker celebrating their 100th anniversary. In order to commemorate this occasion, they took a select few of their illustrated covers and remade them using photography and real people. This article caused me to consider how a remake would work. Thinking about what type of magazine I would remake, I started looking at the most mainstream music magazines that I had already heard of. A remake would allow me the freedom to change and stylize certain aspects of the cover, while still giving me the parameters to work under. The So Young magazine was recommended to me as a resource for what an illustrated online magazine would look like. This gave me an example of the format I would need to work in and ideas for the layout of my cover and spot illustrations. Copyright and ownership is a topic that I feel is very relevant here, as I am making a pastiche of an already existing magazine. I plan to do further research into this as I go through the making process for this project. As I consider this project, I want to ensure that I do things ethically. Due to the digital nature of this project, diversity and inclusivity play a very important role. As the internet is a global stage with many different opinions and viewpoints, it is important to go about the creation of this outcome in a conscious and respectful manner. I have looked at a variety of illustrators who work within the editorial illustration industry. I think it is important to see what works and is expected in that industry. This research will inform my choices when making decisions on concepts and making methods. Through intentional research and a battery of creative tests, I plan to develop this project in a secure and confident way. Using various methods to generate ideas and problem solve throughout the creative process, I expect to create a large body of work. My main methods for visual problem solving are thumbnail sketches, and specifically in this project, animation roughs. With just a pencil, paper, and my iPad for animating, I will solidify my visual plan for these outcomes. In my illustration practice, color plays a very important role. Because of this, I will perform various color tests and a large amount of experimentation with color. Considering this project is a remake of an already existing magazine cover, I will take into consideration the existing color palette. The magazines that I am choosing from all contain photographic portraits of musicians on the cover and in the spot illustrations. I will spend a considerable amount of time refining my stylized version of their likenesses. I look forward to this being a challenging process. Though I will be mainly working digitally for this project, my practice also includes a fair amount of analog work. Any analog work will be documented in the form of photographs and scans so that I can have them available digitally for my process PDF. I have created an estimated timeline of how I will complete this project throughout the next 4 weeks. Beginning in week 8, I will concentrate on developing my initial concepts through sketches and delving into more research on all topics related to this project. By the midpoint of week 9, I will have a solidified final concept for my cover and spot illustrations. Continuing from this point, throughout weeks 9 and 10, I will finish all of the outcomes in preparation for the consolidation of process and outcome in week 11. Magazines no longer exist solely on paper. Having an online presence is vital to reaching their audience. With the use of digital means, magazines have expanded into an international industry, broadening their reach and influence. This project allows me to experience what that entails. Through research into the readership of various music magazines, I have found that my target audience should be adults between the ages of 20 to 30 years old. This demographic seems to be the largest to consume magazines about general music culture. My final outcomes for the Edge project are a magazine cover remake with 3 spot illustrations. My goal is to present the process and development of the final outcomes and to learn more about the editorial industry and animation. I look forward to completing this project over the next few weeks. Thank you.